Alright, so I'm sure there's like millions of videos teaching people how to sumo, but I'll just kind of teach you some of the tips and tricks for me. First things first, I feel like for a person who's learning how to do sumo at first, you kind of want to keep your ankles and your knees lined up, and you want to make sure like your hand where you grab the bar is kind of lined up with your shoulders. When you get a little bit better at doing a sumo, you can possibly go a little bit wider when you learn a little bit more about how to stay tight and actually use your glutes. So if you watch, my feet are always lined up where the rings are at. So I try to go a little bit wider than the rings, kind of close to the plates. I'll flex my lats, I'll put tension on the bar, and as I bring it up, right when it gets past my knees, I shoot my hips forward. So one thing that you kind of want to imagine when you do a sumo pull is you want to try to split like the ground apart. Like for me, I like to push against my heels and really split the ground apart, and I like to really put tension on the bar. So again, this is 315. First things first, line up my feet with the rings, flex my lats, make sure I bring my hands kind of in a little bit so it lines up with my shoulders. So one of my pinky and my pointer fingers on the smooth part of the bar. And as I sit down, I'm stretching my hamstrings and my glutes. So right when I dip my butt down, I squeeze my hamstrings and my glutes really tight. And once everything's super tight and I can feel the bar almost lifting off of the ground, then I initiate the pull. So again, this is from the back side, so you can kind of see what I mean. Again, first things first, line up with the rings. I'm going to flex my lats because the upper back for me is the hardest part to keep tight when I do a deadlift. Everything's very simple to keep tight except for my lats. So I flex that first, keep very tight as I go down, go very slow, stretch my hamstrings and my glutes, and then as I come up, shoot my hips and really squeeze in my glutes. So this is my gear, working into my gear lifting at 405. You want to do the exact same thing. Another tip is to try to keep the bar as close as you can. So if you'll notice, I have duct tape underneath my socks. And as I do the deadlift, it's literally going to ride up against the flat part of my shins. And that's kind of how I like to point my feet out. People always wonder like, what's the perfect pointing out for your feet? And I always say, the flat part of your shin should ride up against the bar. So whatever the way your body's built, just make sure it rides up the flat part of your feet or your shins, and wherever your feet points out when the bar is right up on your flat part of the shin, and that's kind of where you want to keep it. And this is how I sumo, or what I think about. Now this is my first set at 565. So the first thing that I want people to know is, when you get ready for your set, you want to make sure all your warm-ups and everything looks exactly the same. So as you're approaching the bar, before you even do the deadlift, I want you to already imagine you're able to pull weight. Because if you don't believe in yourself when you do this pull, then the weight's going to be pretty hard. And again, you always want to do your setup. And as you set up and you sit up, I want you to kind of almost look a little bit above neutral. That way it'll keep your chest up. And you really want to put tension on the bar before you even initiate the pull. And a lot of people call this pulling the slack out of the bar. So every time you see me before I initiate my deadlifts, you'll see the bar bend just a little bit, and then I go for my pull. So just keep that in mind. I always imagine there's two directions for every power lift. So for the deadlifts, I'm splitting the ground, which is a horizontal movement, and at the same time, I'm pulling the bar up in a vertical and down movement. And when I do it like that, the deadlift just seems a little bit easier for me.
Position that I was in, no excuses. The grind is that heavy and family, so of course I came on top of my priority list. Feeling like my one shot I missed, but truth is not everyone makes it overnight with this music. music. Haven't given up and know that I never will. Just wanna teach my kids to chase their dreams until it's real. And every one of y'all should do the same. We only got one life to live, so let the world know your name. And if you want it, we'll all make it. And maybe one day we'll all get paid. But till that day comes, let's work hard and grind more. Leave the rest of it
for goosebumps. 咕噜的暖气中梦里搞啥？虎姑没有来了，鸟的高路写啥？各有虎姑的气，老估计啥里家？姑爷梦多问题，可做努我公家好啊。做古北梦里家了，姑爷梦来起闹，比北也梦里多，鸟到这个没干闹。没人家的没有写，许多去走啥？地路东家好啊，老百姓我里边写啥？头马叫给马里火，天马里头把酒，这是头的地里头，谁对起闹酒？路不老路口后的路线。头鸟些，莫个叫路了头路些，个用些，早给背，你看有为莫不济，用力让我说，哪敢也莫拖，拖个大，莫了个包个大，西路北路梦北店里拉个大。Put your eyes in my vision, can you see what I see? All my moan people falling off, losing seats to the penitentiary, to the grave, can't you see? We losing people bleeding non-stop while we breathe. Put your eyes in my vision, can you see what I see? All my moan people falling off, losing seats to the penitentiary, to the grave, can't you see? We losing people bleeding non-stop while we breathe. I've been around, seen a lot of drama. Yes, economy is fucked up, feels like I'm facing this old karma. Sleeping through the night, but I'm facing reality. My moan people look at me and see it differently. I was born corrupt.
Stay humble. Yup. At the end of the day, you only get back the amount that you put in. Blood, sweat, and tears, baby. I'm out. I'm coming! Hey! Come on, Dave. Up! Get it.
When you deadlift, you want to use baby powder. Baby powder kind of makes the bar slide up a little bit easier. You know, so don't ever use chalk on your legs because that's going to add more friction. You want it to be smoother as it comes up, but more grip as you hold onto the bar. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of baby powder on my shins, just like that, just a little bit. Don't put too much. And I'm going to rub it on the bottom side of the baby powder bottle. You don't want to rub it on the side because, of course, my hand's going to be holding it, so you don't want your hands to have any powder on it. So once I rub it on my shins, what I like to do is I like to put it on my thighs. Once it's on your thighs, the part of your arms that rub, like for me, since I'm a sumo, I'm going to pull inside. Most conventional pullers just need it on their thighs because they hold it outside. But for me, since I pull sumo, I want to rub the part of my forearm that slides up my thigh, like that. Not like this because I pull like this, right? Alternate hand, right hand in, left hand out. So I'm gonna rub that forearm, keeping my hands closed so none of the baby part gets on it. And then I use that part of the forearm just to kind of rub the baby part all around, so it's easier for the bar to slide up. Okay? Never ever use chalk on your thighs, and never ever use baby powder in your hands. Okay? It's chalk on the hands, baby powder on the legs.